Test. Audio's looking like we're good. Just want to double check it. I need to turn these down a little bit. What's up, Nexus? My guy. How's it looking? How's it sounding? We had a test before we show the charts, right? Test 1 2. Because it's funny is I can turn the volume down on the music and but it doesn't change the volume for you guys. I have to like change it manually. It's weird stuff. Oh, we are all messed. Hold on. There we are. Wrong one. So I apologize. I have all my stuff set up for the last TrendSpider interview. And I thought I had everything done, but anyway, yeah, I could turn. That's as far as I can take my mic, Nexus, and get a little closer. But I could turn the music down a little bit. How's that sound? That is volume audio way down on the video. Sounds good. Awesome. So we'll go ahead and get started. Per the usual, this stream is not intended to be used as financial advice. God forbid if you even thought this was financial advice. This is god-awful financial advice. In reality, this is a art stream, so don't think we're looking at Bitcoin and crypto and markets or anything like that. And if you're quick and curious to see what is going on, and this actually came up, someone didn't know this. All my charts are obviously Rainbow Trend style. I'm kind of the author of all that, so I'm a bit biased, but it's really good stuff. And if you didn't know, you can actually, if you've been on the fence about it, you can actually sign up for $10 for the first month and give it a try. So someone actually was caught off guard this week and was like shocked. I was like, yeah, dude, we were able to fix the back end of the website and get it down to like, so we could do an initial discount. And if you don't believe me, go check out our OGs, especially Pix has been freaking killing it. Shout out Josh. And I'm gonna go straight in. I'm not gonna do as much news. We've had a bunch of issues in the markets, and we really pushed me into OG Rainbow Theory territory. I'm not gonna lie, this is where like Rainbow Theory started, with capitulation and me trying to figure out like what can a whale do, what can't a whale do, and it's really awesome. So anyway, before I start on this wonderful charting session, and likewise, if you guys don't know, we're going to stream for about an hour, and then we're going to go head over to the Discord and hang out in the Rainbow Trends Discord where all the OGs can screen share or ask questions or talk video games if you want. But the important news, and I'm super biased. I'm super biased. But there's like 3.5 guys who know how to like really code well in PineScript, in my opinion. This is one of the OGs of the OGs, Mr. Neobutane himself. And he disappeared a long time ago. And I was heartbroken because this was a dude I looked up to for the longest time. And I've been reaching out to him for probably 3 years now. Sending him emails, wishing him, hope him the best, hope he's alive, because I had heard rumors like he wasn't alive anymore. And I'm proud to announce Neo is back and may or may not be playing with rainbow charts. So that's even like sweeter. The guy I was initially like trying to get insight from is like messing with us, and he promised he'd actually stop by the Discord sometime. So I'm super excited. One of these guys that like I'm a huge fan of, and if you can actually see Crypto Paradigm, Mr. Dime himself is ecstatic as well. So it means a lot. This is a guy I looked up to for a very long time, and go check him out. He's got a lot of cool trading view stuff. So I'm like super stoked he's back. I mentally had come to terms that he wasn't here anymore, and it's very, very refreshing. So getting DMs 3 years later is bittersweet. So moving on. Since Nexus is here, I am going to cover this. Nexus, I am very sorry that I sold my Aave bags. I know we were Aave long, but frankly, I have to sell pinks. I have to sell pink candles on Aave, and I'm sorry I've left you. You're all alone, and this is currently Mr. Nexus.
23. Come on, 24. One more, David. Bruce, one more.
Next is going to have to carry the boat.
You're going to do it. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. You did it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my guy Nexus. I'm sorry. And crypto's broken out. My pack hard here. It's what's up, Sean. If you guys don't know Sean, he's a real OG of mine. I love that dude. But Bitcoin's back up. We bounced. Everyone said it was dead. And we're back. We're back above support. Are we back above support permanently? No idea. Are we back for now? And I'm going to enjoy the freaking day, the freaking night? Yes. That's where I'm at with it. So keep that in mind because we're here. We're bounced. We bounced hard today. And I wanted to go into this because I thought you guys got to realize, like, I talk my own kind of language with like rainbow theory and stuff, and my charts look goofy as can be, but it works. And I disregard that sometimes, or I don't understand that sometimes people don't realize what on earth I'm saying. A lot of people talk their own languages, and this is definitely a language that I talk that I want to touch base on because there's a lot of tools that I look at. There's a lot of tools that I show, and this one was real simple. And I started getting some DMs on it, like, how on earth did you time these bottoms the way you did? And I was kind of taken back because, like, dude, this is like the OG Rainbow Theory 101. This is like this is kind of like what we talk about, but I'm understanding like it's maybe something we're overlooking at. So I really wanted to not focus on the news today, other than Neo showing up and then me ditching Nexus to carry the Aave bags. But this is a lot of stuff on the chart. This is the stuff we've been trading. A lot of people have been going crazy with all the different charts, doing scalp trades. I've had the same sentiment for a while now. I'm gonna buy, I'm gonna long bottoms, whether or not I'm right or wrong. I'm willing to hold these bags, not protect them, and put them into cold storage. I'm looking to sell this stuff in like 2025 is really where I'm at with it. And it's emotionally detached me a bit. And I'm able to buy lows that when you look at like crypto Twitter sentiment, everyone says it's over, it's over, it's over. And it's really not. That's when the whales are getting long and you have to like look at what they're doing. If you zoom out and you turn all this off, give me a second. Shout out RJB. What's up, my guy? Mim, what's up, dude? You guys crack me up. So if I turn all this off, I've got a bunch of manual stuff here. Let me go to another chart real quick, and I'll come right back to this. But I want to like point this out. If you look, swing and a miss. If you guys look at this, yeah, like there's not a textbook chart for this. You can start drawing your levels. It's been a effort to trade. I will tell you that this has not been easy. This is not textbook by any means, but it's hard. It's really like your levels are all over the place. You know, is it Wyckoff? No. Well, you can argue it. I mean, a lot of Wyckoffers are probably going to start talking about this being a spring a week later when price is already back up to like 65K. Calling that now, that those hindsight charters are coming for your likes and clicks. And by the way, if you're new here, definitely comment, link, subscribe, follow, whatever. The algos absolutely cherish any freaking like on any of these things. So please do that. It'd be ever so kind. I spend too much time video editing to not ask for a like. So much appreciated for showing up. But my point is this is a weird chart, right? There's a lot of stuff that Bitcoin and crypto does that's easy. There's a lot of stuff that's kind of bad, but like this is hard. This is not a stereotypical reaccumulation, accumulation, distribution, whatever you want to call it. You can't really call it a broadening wedge or an accumulation cylinder. It's awkward. I mean, maybe yeah, whatever. But you get the point. A lot of people have been just absolutely wrecked by this, and rightfully so. It's been nasty. It's been emotional, and a lot of stuff's happened. But the key of it, this has been much harder than it was last year. I will say that for sure. And I feel like I'm really boring because I've just been waiting for these lows to print and longing it. And sometimes this was in May, this one was in June, July, and then today, this week was August. So I've been deploying capital when we get like the signal from like whales and rainbow theory, like, hey, we got a chance here. This is a bottom. And I'll kind of walk through this because these two were the creeks. And to me, I jump creeks. I take profits on BARTs. Those are kind of like the specialties of like the stuff we can see with kind of like all this TA. And I'm not just a chart perfect maximalist that everything has to be perfect. I think all the people that post like perfect stuff, it's all hindsight. Like very rarely do we see something absolutely perfect. And even then, COVID can come in and knock your charts out, and crazy stuff can happen. But the point is, by the way, that's a beta version. We're going to get that soon, I promise. The point is, this stuff is designed to liquidate you, and it does it really, really well. People get emotional. Crypto Twitter is in absolute shambles anytime we get near this green thing. And the green is green because that's where we want to find support and buy. And that was the creek jump. I deployed capital here. I didn't catch it here. I got it once it back to reclaim the range. I got long again somewhere around there. I don't remember. I don't do P&L clout stuff, especially because I'm not selling these. I'm adding at the lows. And then this week I got long again here. And I wanted to talk about how this is different. This was the easier trade. This one. These were hard to me. I'm going to pull the runner bot off and I'm going to turn the RSI signals off. Dang it, wrong one. These were harder, and I want to go into it because that's why we're here. I want to teach you guys like how to read this stuff because this stuff can be intimidating. This took Wyckoff kind of base chart analysis to say, hey, I've got support. I've got H4 order block resistance. I've got H4 order block support. We're ranging. And this kind of looks like a creek for me. And whales are super, super sneaky. They break through blocks, fake you out, scare you, then they go long again. And these damn things pump. 30%, 28%? That's a big deal. Another creek, baited everyone again. It did the same damn thing. Pumped up, but didn't actually click that all-time high order block. It got caught in the 2021 order block. This is back from when like Bitcoin first hit like 65K. These were hard, and I had to watch these much harder. I had to kind of get a feel for these, and shout out to the OGs in the Discord. A lot of these guys hit this hard, and it was really awesome because this was super, super scary. In RGB, yes, it's being recorded. It'll be on YouTube within like an hour. So we finally got to this one. So I wanted to make the point. This is a complicated chart. Not a lot of people are catching this. A lot of the people posting stuff about it. They posted in hindsight. Price will get up here and they'll say, look at this bottom. It's so textbook. And none of these guys like do it in real time. It's real hard. So I just wanted to make you not feel bad because this stuff was tricky. But regardless to say, I kind of want to do this and explain this in simplest terms. Creek jump, capitulation. And I will tell you this. You cannot time death wicks. You don't know when they're coming. You don't know when capitulation is going to happen. All you can do is act when it happens, and it's super, super violent. And was this a chart setup on Bitcoin that we could have done this amazing fractal and figured out that Bitcoin was going to whipsaw? No. What happened was Japan melted down. This is the Nikkei index. The Japanese stock market, and I'm not going to go super into this. There's a million dudes doing YouTube way better than I can on traditional markets, but basically Japan melted down. They had one of the worst stock trading weeks in their entire history of their stock market. One of the top 3 or top 2. I don't remember what all dust settled, but trillions of dollars was lost. And this was 27% on a very traditionally slow moving market. This here in Japan, due on the Bank of Japan's decisions, queue up Doppel, if you want to read into that. They made some stuff that went across all markets and shook the rafters. And this is why I'm really big on chart TA really, really matters, but FA really matters too. Because I don't care what the greatest chart setup you have of all time, something bad can happen and wipe it out. Like, go look at the Terra Luna stuff. Terra Luna had news issues because stuff was really going down and it literally went to zero. Stuff happens, right? And that went all the way over into the S&P 500. The S&P 500 started unwinding. Like, hey, runner, this doesn't look bad. It's 10%. This is a pretty big drop. We went to all-time highs and we started getting scared. We actually saw NVIDIA show some weakness, which is crazy. When was the last time? I mean, year and a half, year or so? NVIDIA straight up, one of the top 10 biggest assets in the world. Big deal. So something unwound, and it started causing capitulations in the market. Like, go look at Intel. Intel gapped down like crazy. Go look at Ford. And I can trust you. Ford's an American auto car maker. They have nothing to do with Japan, but it nuked them anyway. So, like, liquidity was messed with on a worldwide front. We still don't know where the bodies are. We don't know who's blown up yet. The news has been pretty silent on that, but it's going to take months. Trillions of dollars, and I think it was $1.3 billion was liquidated in 12 hours in the crypto industry. People blew up. We just don't know who yet. I haven't seen any bank stocks go crazy. I haven't seen anything really, really wild yet. But I guarantee it, we're going to find out. Remember, FTX blew up? It took a year later, we were finding out these things went belly up and died off. So it's part of it, right? And that's got to settle out. But regardless, the point is Japan melted down. TradeFi markets all across the world melted down. And crypto nuked on that news. So I'm going to go into the basis of where Rainbow Theory actually started. Way back. What is it? Back to 2017. A young and dumb runner wanted to find out what is a whale, how can they control markets, and if a whale can control markets, what are his limits? Because everything has a limit. As badass as an orca is in the wild, they can only get so big, they can only swim so fast. At no point will there ever exist an orca that can run or swim 200 miles an hour. They top out at, 45 miles an hour? We know the speed. We know the max size. And we know the minimum sizes, right? Same thing with anything in this world. As long as it's got limits, and pretty much everything, even speed, the speed of light has a limit, right? Whales have limits. Whales can't take Bitcoin to zero or -20, -2,000, right? They really can't take Bitcoin down to 10,000 either today or tomorrow. I'll bet money on it. Short of Satoshi coming out himself, and it's like Charles Hoskins, price isn't going to just nuke to $2, right? That's just the truth. You can argue with me all you want. And yeah, I mean, technically everything can go to zero, right? Quantum computers could hack Bitcoin, something crazy. Who knows, right? Make up some scenario. But I can tell you to date, the entire history of Bitcoin can't move 80, 90% in a day anymore. It's not in the cards. So what does that mean? It means Bitcoin and whales can only move price so far in a day, in an hour, in a week, in a month, right? So the whole basis of Rainbow Theory started off with looking at how far can we measure whales and what do whales look like, their sizes, all that type of stuff. It's a bunch of noise in the computer system, but eventually the noise in the matrix actually started making sense, and I figured out you could put colors to this because I didn't know how else to make it visually apparent where these walls are. And it's the basis of these colors is where it really comes down to. I'm going to turn all this stuff off the main indicator, which I'm so overdue for a video. I'm probably going to do it one of these streams. Just do straight up where are we at, because the original videos are way off. And let's go look at a chart that doesn't have anything marked up on it. Let's go to Kraken. Shout out Jesse. If you guys are actually like legit looking into a North American exchange, which I recommend always looking at an exchange that you can actually sue in case something happens really, really bad. Not that you want to sue Kraken, but definitely like don't grab some weird some exchange you've never heard of and put $100,000 on it in another country that you've never been to. Definitely don't do that. Not that this is financial advice, but try to stay in your home turf if you can. I'm a big fan of them, and we have a Rainbow Trends affiliate link if you're going to go look at it in the Discord. So you'll notice the color schemes, right? And give me 1 second because I have to pull up the indicator. If you guys don't know what this is, indicators. So this is the color key for Rainbow Theory. These are your bullish colors. These are your bearish colors. Unless when you're looking at RSI, then we invert them so it's easier to view. But regardless, what you're seeing is the white and the yellow are the strongest. So bearish, big bear, big bear. Holy crap, big bear. Big bears can't withstand a speed like white for very long. And that's what these white candles are. That's where this algorithm is sitting here looking at it, and it's saying, hey, these dudes are hauling butt. They're getting close to their max speed, like a orca hitting 45 miles an hour. They're likely going to tap out soon, and a bull whale's going to take over. And that's what this is. So you'll see, remember the color scheme, orange, yellow, white. You've got oranges here. It's kind of a decent bump. They go back to red, and the bulls take over, right? Bulls take over. Orange, bulls take over. I actually saw a yellow candle there, which is the second strongest. Bulls took over. We actually got white candles here. 2 whites rotated back to yellow, and now we've got our pump. Now, the white is the rarest color. We don't see it a lot, and you and just about everyone else in crypto land and crypto Twitter gets really scared when they see these. And we actually got them on Bitcoin. And we got it on a lot of stocks this week. And a lot of people did not want anything to touch with these. But as you can see, if a Bitcoin whale cannot go to zero, he has to tap out somewhere. Where is it? Well, if you're looking at just red and green candles, you can't really see an idea of where the hell these whales get weak or where they get strong. But that's the whole point of Rainbow Theory. We're going to put colors to these dudes to kind of clock their top speed, what they're doing. That's the goal. So, I hope that kind of makes sense. That's kind of the basis. So in general, when people you'll see Pixa talking about selling pinks and buying whites, that's legit what we're doing. It sounds stupid, but it works. And it pays off over and over again. The all-time low of Bitcoin prints on these whites. You can see where these bulls or these bears stop. Whether it's the bottom or not, the color rotation, you should see it. We go from reds to orange to yellows to whites, and then we rotate out. And then the bulls come in. They only have infinite strength. It's the same thing it's like with your car. You can put the pedal to the metal, but you can only go so many miles before the tank's dry. And then some other driver's going to come in because their gas tanks are ready to go, and they reverse it. Right? Everything's cyclical. You're not going to go deviate to zero, and you're not going to go deviate to infinity. So there's rhymes to the reasons. This stuff goes crazy. And that's what we hit this week. We went back to our roots. We hit capitulation. We hit white candles on Bitcoin. We nuked. We legit nuked. And we actually saw confirmation on a few other things. So I'm going to layer this in. So when I was getting the DMs, because I damn near got the Pico bottom of coin in TradeFi, and I'll walk through that, but I want to walk through the king here, Bitcoin, because this is the one that I pay the most attention to try to give you guys a basis. Anytime you're seeing whites and yellows, pay attention. Now, if you're in some real low cap like RTR, sorry, it's not like I'm not even gonna touch it. Moving forward, there's other stuff we can look here. Now, if you go look at the machine learning algorithm that we have, the machine learning bands, it moves a lot, but it gives us walls, and you can see where we hit against these walls and stuff rotates. So you have the colors. That's one way of the algorithm looking at what's the speed of a whale, what's the top speed, what's the slowest speed, da-da-da-da-da. We also have these reversion bands, which are another layer of walls that work on different code. And essentially what it's telling you is, if I turn log off, if I turn log on, what it's trying to tell you is, hey, this is normally where Bitcoin whales kind of tap out. And this machine learning bands, which are the next layer, which is the orange and the cyan, this is where the algorithm says, hey, I just scanned the chart as far back as I can, This is the furthest wall we've ever seen from a whale. This is the strongest move of every single candle on the chart that's here. And it's telling you that's the strongest impulse we've ever freaking seen, right? So I've got the colors to tell me we're tapping out, and I have these additional layers of reversion band walls that Rainbow Theory has saying, hey, that's the next wall you're hitting. So when I get confluence of these two, I really get comfortable longing. And when you see people, everyone on crypto Twitter, like crying their brains out because they were leveraged beyond belief, don't do that. Spot's really, really nice. But we got an entry here, and we timed it really, really well. And I'm not trying to clout that I made $1 million here, but I'm just telling you, like, the signals work. This is an indicator suite that's not 80 lines of code. This is about 10,000 lines of code, and this is frankly like why we still haven't translated over to TrendSpider yet. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's not. There's a lot of stuff ticking in the background here, but we'll go through it. We got the colors, we got the reversion bands, we also got RSI prints. So if you see these X's here, right? That's RSI prints per the Rainbow Trends indicator, and they're flip this upside down, and that's what you get as far as the colorway. Because I noticed the bullish color, the bearish colors are on top. You couldn't see it if I used the same colors, so I inverted them to make it look nice. I say look nice, and we actually got a pink RSI print on Bitcoin. You don't see these very often, if ever. So essentially, the whales hit white color, which is the max. They hit pink RSI, which is max. And they also hit the damn reversion band. High confidence that it's going to bounce. There's another pink RSI that bounced. They're very, very rare. Let me go back in time. That was FTX dying. That was when we actually got a cluster of them. And nobody wanted to buy that, but we actually got a cluster of RSI prints, which is like unheard of. So confluence. And you layer this stuff. Hey, this is saying this is a bottom. This is saying this is a bottom. The whales are looking like they're tapping out. You can get the runner bot algorithm as well in there. It's going to come in a little slower and say, hey, yeah, I think this is bullish. We got a bottom print here in here. One in the mid-range, which did not play out, but this is still a hell of a tool. And we actually got, I think the RSI, not the RSI, the HMI cut it too. There you go. So we got our bounce, and it's moved up 27% in just a few days when nobody wanted to touch this and everyone in crypto Twitter was screaming it's over. So that's the rundown of how to look at this. And Malafrestro is DMing me. Shout out Mally. You know, what triggered you exactly? And it was Coinbase in particular. So long story short, I got long in here. I was mainly focusing on the stock market. I did not snipe this. I did it on my phone. I was not at my trade desk. And I got in at 50, like around 54. I got in here somewhere. I saw we hit this and decided, hey, we're good. And now I'm up, which is not, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm saying is like I got real skin in the game here. I'm up 13, 14% right now on a Bitcoin scalp. So that's how I read that one. And I'll go into Coinbase and I'll show exactly for Malafestro because he was asking this. And this is the whole reason I'm having this like conversation with you guys. I thought this was easier than I thought. So I want to touch back on this because it's just old school Rainbow Theory, and I have to be cognizant that I speak a different language. I was watching Coinbase. Market opened. Coinbase gapped way down. Right? So I initially looked at this on the H4. I didn't have the runner bot on, and I don't even think I was looking at RSI, so I'll turn that off. I was just looking at reversion bands and machine learning bands. Main indicator and this. So basically color candles and the reversion bands. Great combo. A lot of people in the P&L part of the Discord, that's the sweet spot. Now, the thing here, I saw this. Now, when we're dealing with capitulation, you know I like H4. When I see stuff like nuking in particular, I drop H4 down to H1. That's what I start watching. And this is where we saw this really melting down. I think I even went down to 1 minute candles and started watching this. And I saw these lines wiggling, and I maybe I need to screen record it. I don't know how to really say this, but if you watch capitulation and you can't really watch it on replays, you kind of got to watch it as it prints live because it wiggles. You can kind of see when these people get liquidated, like what it looks like, and you can kind of see like where real volume is like coming in. And this is the Rainbow Trends split volume tool. You can see the capitulation down here. There was a price was nuking, but there was a bunch of buys. So it's telling you like, hey, this isn't just like liquidations, which it was, but like there are intelligent people here buying in size is what that's saying. So I do watch this like when it's really capitulating, I'll drop down to really low time frames and I just kind of watch what the candles are wiggling, and you can kind of see this stuff like, hey dude, there's buyers here, this isn't just pure sellers, and price is moving down, and these people are buying the freaking dip, and lo and behold, and this one is in the Discord, so if you want timestamps to say I'm 6 stack XBT on me. We got in it, I got in at like 171 and some change. I got in like right here. And I forgot what exactly I sold it for. I think I got out at like 190 something. It was a 15% trade, but it was based solely on watching Coinbase get nuked, white candles into a reversion band, and then watching it print out. And this is the thing I was trying to warn you guys on real like super macro, not accumulation, but I guess bottoms, capitulation bottoms. I call it a piggyback because nobody has a term for this, but you'll see a death wick go wham deep into these reversion bands. It'll come back up and piggyback and go back. And that's what that is. What? Right there. That is a capitulation piggyback. You normally see it only on death wicks. So there's the automatic reaction where it bounces up and then it pulls back and humps. And I always call it kind of the piggyback because no one on earth has a term for this because no one's figured out capitulation wicks except like SWO and Rainbow Dudes. That's a piggyback. That's your death wick. That's your piggyback. That's stabbing into liquidity. That's the market and the nature is like leveling out. Now, the first thing that comes after a piggyback is normally another test of liquidity somewhere lower or higher than this print. And that's what I was scared of. And that's my actual justification. And you can see me in the Discord post that, hey, I'm out, I'm selling here, I'm worried about this. Yeah, that's what it was. I sold at 196. So it was 171 to 196. It was a 15% scalp trade on coin. And a lot of people started asking me about it, and I was like, oh, if this isn't clear, let me show you the colors, because this is super easy. And this is why you see like Pixa just killing it. He plays in these bands with whites and pinks. This is where he acts where other people don't want to act, and it works because it reverses. So I don't know what this is really going to turn into because the market's like recovering everywhere, and we don't know where all the bodies are, all that type of jazz, right? But I got skittish that this was going to print, and it did. That's right there is this thing, and it's almost to a T played out, and I got out because otherwise it came all the way back down to 176, which it would have been a lost trade at that point. So not trying to time the top, not trying to try the perfect top, but definitely want to try to exit where I'm in decent profit and risk off, because frankly, I don't know where the bodies are yet. Some people blew up. It could get uglier. It totally could. We don't know yet, right? So I'm worried that other bad things can happen in TradeFi, and like we start having market sell off, whatever. People are talking 1929, whatever, depression. Don't really care. But I wanted to get out and secure, and that's how I did it. So Mally, I hope that answers your like question of like exactly what I was looking at. long story short, low time frames pushing in. We're definitely dealing with capitulation. You can see the whales buying this stuff heavily, and that's what made me bite. We got really deep, and there's no coming back from that. Now, someone was asking, like, hey, was there any other notable stock markets? Yes, Intel legged down even further. Same thing hit. I'm long Intel as well for hell or high water. This was the initial level that like I bit at. And let me make sure, let me put all this back to default. So I want to turn these things back on. And turn the liquidations off. So we had that first plateau where this kind of bottomed out and hit, and I got long like right there. And then Japan hit, and now we're here. So I added to my position and buying the second leg. My DCA is somewhere around like 23-ish, mid 23s. So I'm looking for the bounce, and frankly, you can see the machine learning bands are gapping down. We are legit into the never been done before territory for Intel. Intel's got some serious issues. I'm not an expert on it, but I have a feeling Intel eventually always comes back around someday. They've got too big of a foothold, and I think they'll eventually fix something and come back. That's my gut take. It's like AMD and Intel kind of rotate back and forth and stuff. But regardless, big nuke. Not wrong one. That's the what is it? What is PLNTR? PLTR. This is Dan Ishman's like favorite one. He loves this company. We actually got like a crazy yellow candle on PLTR, which is like super rare, and it bounced. So you have to realize, like, when stuff's cascade liquidations, like, people are freeing up money so they don't get margin called. This was 40% move. Ford was another one. Ford went way down, and like, frankly, this one I started like nudging the dudes in the Rainbow Trends Discord, like, are you guys watching this? Because I'm really tempted to bite, because if this thing bounces off this rev band, at least to the mid range is a 25% trade, up to the uppers is like 40 and 50, and Ford is here. Now, if we lose this level, we could go do and then find another level. Don't want to be around for that. I don't. I like Ford to an extent, but they overbit on EVs, and their forward guidance on how they're going to recover that is not the best thing in the world. And I'm starting to get reports the new Mustang 5.0's got issues, so not a big fan. But I really do like the late 90s vehicles they made. So there's that. But regardless, hey, white candles, reversion bands. It's saying the same thing as what got me to bite on Coinbase. It hasn't popped yet, but we are starting to see the turn. Needless to say. And someone asked me recently, what is the rainbow indicator, these little icons? Somebody wanted to be able to put alerts, and that's how you can do alerts on rainbow rotation. So you want alerts when you see a rotation from white to yellow or pink to purple. That little thing there, you can set alerts on so you can sleep at night and get an email. So anyway. Oh no. Ace is here. If Ace is here, we have to do something. How about all the clouds? You've got custom clouds, Josh Olowic's clouds. We can cover this whole damn chart with clouds. What's up, dude? Much love, Ace. So anyway, we're going to mess up the charts because Ace is streaming, and we're going to do custom clouds. We're going to get all this really weird. I think that should actually print 3. Yep, there we go. There's 3 level clouds. Clearly, the concise clearliness here is we need to go long. We see what it does on Bitcoin. I actually don't hate that. That's kind of cool. It's like watching multiple EMAs of clouds. So shout out Josh for his custom settings for crypto. That's what I cut my teeth on. And shout out Ace. I believe he's traditional settings. Not that we hate traditional settings, but anyway, moving on. That's really what we're looking at. And we've got to see if people are talking dead cat. People are talking all this stuff. Frankly, we haven't seen NVIDIA show weakness in a very long time. Is it an AI bubble? There's some type of bubble with AI. I think AI legit is going to turn into a race, and people are going to have issues with like trying to feed the microprocessors to actually power this. But I can tell you this, my Samsung fridge does not need Chat GPT, and I think they're finding that out the hard way. They're forcing AI on everything. It's just, it's unfortunate, but I think it's gonna have to happen. I just, it's showing up in so many places on all these apps, and it's just like, dude, just let me order my Taco Bell. I don't need machine learning on my gordita crunches. I really don't. So anyway, that's the point. But I still think the legit stuff is still going to be like pretty crazy. They're going to need NVIDIA CPUs for a long time, and I actually kind of need to talk to Esk about this from the Discord and see if they're actually having any issues trying to get NVIDIA units like they used to. I did mention Aave in the beginning. I'm so sorry, Mr. Nexus. The problem is I saw pinks and I had to sell. That's all default. Yeah. I thought we saw pinks. Was it on the 2 hour? Regardless, we got back up to this. This is where I sold like at 115 and it proceeded to fall off the face of the earth. And for some odd reason, Aave was one of the first things to like bounce, and it bounced hard. 32%. I have no idea why, but maybe some crazy roadmap, something DeFi. I saw someone actually questioning today, like, what's the point of BNB if Sol exists? So maybe we could just have that argument that if Sol exists, all these other things have no intrinsic value. But frankly, I don't think any of this stuff has intrinsic value. I just like how the stuff paints and the way the lines wiggle, and we can kind of just chase the whales. Malifestro, now that we're talking about it, there is a channel walk right there on Aave. Malifestro has been crazy deep into Sol right now. And speaking of that, let's just go look at it. He's been looking at, so you know me, I trade the channel walks. We do really well with that because we call tops notoriously that Bitcoin, or not Bitcoin, the Ethereum top was wild, and I got so much flack for being a bear, even though I've got ETH is probably my second largest holding in my entire portfolio, like of everything. But Malifestro started asking me about these lower time frame and these downtrend channel walks, which I thought was interesting because, frankly, and I was telling him this, and I was like, man, we don't really see that many downward channel walks, and it's not to say they don't exist, because they do, but man, like, we don't have a lot of data on them, and like, frankly, no one talks about these outside of like the Rainbow Discord. So he was mapping this out as like, hey, that's a channel walk down, and then the algo's flipped, and that's a channel walk out. And I think he actually nailed this, which is crazy, because he was like, this is going to liquidate so many people. And sure enough, it channeled down and then it channeled out, and it was like, holy crap. It was pretty crazy. I don't know why it's acting like it's going to stick. Regardless, if there's anything repeating the rhymes of the reason, regardless of the shenanigans Ansom's doing, we did get white candles into reversion bands with a bottom print, and it bounced. And you gotta realize, not that you're gonna catch these. Sometimes you can, but that's a 47% move. Say you caught it. Say you bid the first non-white candle. That's 15. That's still crazy. Awesome, right? But you gotta realize this thing came down like 42%. And he caught that it was in a channel, which was really cool. So shout out Mally. He's pushing Rainbow Theory further and further, which is awesome, because the more further you guys push it, the more we can document, the more we can figure out, the more we can get ahead of whales, and hell, maybe we can get some new tools coded that can help this stuff. So it's a lot of stuff over the past year and a half. It's just been like people asking me who got really good with the tools. Hey, can you do this? Can you do this? I'm like, I don't know, but let me go look. And if it works, cool. But anyway, that's Sol. We got like 15 minutes left, so I gotta try to figure this out. What else are we gonna look at? It's a weird market, guys. Aave and Zcash doing great. Bitcoin falling. Like, Zcash fell less than Bitcoin. This is a weird feeling. Not gonna lie. But if you have any questions, please let me know. That's my big rant on this, because I want you guys to understand like what these colors are, because like, no lie, if I turn everything on This stuff can just look complicated as can be, and you're like, what on earth is going on? And what on earth is Runner talking about? It really just comes down to the colors, guys. The more layers in you can get on the bearish cut, these like super strong colors, the better. And if you get to sell on the pink side, even better, right? But you're gonna get reactions, and that's just kind of like how it goes. And looking at the liquidity tool here, that's another layer. There was vulnerable bids here that were gonna liquidate at these levels, and they got sniped. So you got to realize, like, the whales aren't on teams. Whales aren't friendly either, right? They want to kill each other. It's like you put 10 male lions in a cage. In a few days, there's only going to be one left. And like that's literally what they want to do, because they don't want competition and they want the other people to like not exist anymore. There's a whole bunch of history behind that one. So anyway, can you please explain Bitcoin funding candles? Kappa, we can take a look. Is that a ticker, or I don't know. Yeah, we can talk Bitcoin funding candles real quick. Let me pull them up because I don't normally have them loaded. And I don't want to flash all the stuff that I'm looking at. So, or I say looking at what I have all in the beta stuff. People gonna screen grab. So if we go to a different chart, BTC USDT, we'll just go to CoinX. Let me turn everything else off because funding candles are a different thing. Not a lot of people use these, to be honest with you. I think they're pretty cool, and I look at them like once a month. So Bitcoin funding. So you understand that there's like leverage books and there's spot books, right? So there are times where the market gets really crazy, right? These were the crazy times. Typically on those last stretches, Bitcoin funding goes way towards leverage. And what does that mean? There's a time where whales are willing to spend the funds to take a long position and put the money at risk against an APR, which, if you guys don't know, like, leverage trading 101, avoid it. But secondly, if you are long, it's not free, unless the trade's reversed. But regardless, typically every funding session, you're going to get charged a percentage. And the whales are not willing to go long unless they're really, really, really committed to a trend. And that's what these are showing, is when these colors start getting into the hotter colors, it's showing you that the whales are more and more willing to leverage up. But it also gives you a warning that, like, when they're really, really leveraged up, it's likely to stop or reverse at some point soon because things are vulnerable. And it's not like a perfect call, but it gives you an idea that, like, hey, things are really, really, really leveraged right now. Be careful because there could be a cascade, right? It doesn't call tops, but it definitely gets you an idea that, like, they're starting to leverage. All of this was whales in spot. This is whales starting to get leveraged, which is what you kind of want to see on a bull run. They're willing to say the bear run's over, let's start pumping and doing some pumpamentals, right? That's what that is. So that's like people look at all the funding rates, and there's people that study that to a T. I'm trying to remember the company that had a really cool dashboard for that. But long story short, this is the way I was able to visualize it. So just keep note of this. That's all this is really looking at, and that's kind of like what those are. But thank you for the question. That's a good one. Not a lot of people look at it, but it's cool. It's fun. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, I used to post charts on that. That's like how Dylan LeClaire and me became friends, was posting those charts initially. Shout out Dylan. He's cool. He knows a lot about maple syrup, more than I do. Which I don't know anything about maple syrup, but I love maple syrup. Anyway, questions. And if not, we're going to head over to the Rainbow Trends Discord in about 10 minutes and hang out there, and you guys can ask all the questions live. If you guys want to have rap battles, that's totally cool too. But that's where we're at, guys. Moving forward, on just about all this stuff. It's going to be complicated. The world stock market matters. I don't know where the bodies are yet, and I'm just going to keep saying that. Is someone blew up big. I don't know who blew up, but somebody took an L really, really bad in this stock market meltdown. And I don't know who it is. And if like big names start coming out, it's going to drag the S&P 500 down. And if S&P 500 down just starts nuking, Bitcoin's going to start trying to follow it. So I got to watch out for that. Really, really, really do. But until then, next target's this 2021 all-time high order block and see if we can get in it. And the last time we only peaked barely above it. And then these whale prints started showing up saying, not today. Bam, 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 and marked it down. And I think on the Coinbase one, it was actually a whale cluster on the 4 hour. Let me check real quick. Was it? I tagged Pixa when we saw it because Pixa's the whale print cluster OG. But regardless, that's where I'm at with that because, frankly, we're almost back up to the mid-range. I love this movement, but the closer we get into the middle here, the more chop we're going to get into. Alts are going to get choppy, all this other stuff. But if we're lucky, this is what I anticipate now. It's the market like levels out and all that type of stuff. We figure out what direction are we going up? Are we going down? Are we panicking? Are we selling? Whatever, right? But this, we would like to see Bitcoin kind of stop at some point and stall out. And if we can get a stall out, go look at your alts. They are going to start slingshotting. So essentially, when you're looking at like a market, it's a big, big oscillator. That's all it is. You have Bitcoin that'll do this. And you have alts that'll do this. Right? And the lower the cap the alt, the more volatile they'll be. So we want Bitcoin to really go sideways here so these damn things can slingshot. That's what I call like the slingshot shade. And if you ever see me like talk about like the oscillators, let me see if I can find, there's a really cool tweet where I talk about it, not to self-promote, but not that I'm streaming about myself here, right? But you get the point. Runner 44 oscillation. I don't know. I can't find it, but you get the point. I've covered it before, and there's other people that picked up the animation. Oscillation GIF. Images. Let me see if I can find it. Is that it? No. I can't find it. My apologies. But regardless, that's the thing. And like when you start talking about like shitcoins, think of it like that. Except sometimes they don't come back up and then like died forever, but it's just kind of how it works. So anyway, check out Euro USD. It's been leading BTC. What's the ticker? I never look at these. USD year. There it is. Huh. That's actually kind of cool. Don't go to daily. The data's weird. If you ever see glitches like that, it's the data getting reported weird. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I kind of want to look at Bitcoin on the euro now. That's roughly the same chart. The pivots are a little clear though. That's actually, yeah, we're actually double testing that pivot there. But anyway, let's go tell you if there's any random alts we can look at real quick. And like again, thank you guys all for stopping by. Please like, comment, subscribe. Twitter has me super nerfed right now. I think they think I'm a bot. I tried talking to their help desk and it did not work. So even tried taking a week hiatus. That did not work either. I believe it's probably because Twitter used to be way different for me, and then I had some glitches with the actual tool, and my screen refreshed about 5,000 times in about 2 seconds. And then it like logged me off and said I was rate limited and thought it was a bot. And I was like, no, you guys just don't support Android worth a damn. Nothing crazy. Bitcoin pulled back. I mean, Bitcoin hit pretty. This was a hell of a candle, needless to say, but we're starting to get those bounces. Ondo was not Ondo. Optimism was the one that really bit me. I say bit me. It baited me. And this was when I started showing on Twitter, or not Twitter, in the Discord, because it looked the best to me. I started DCAing here, like the 142s or whatever. And then when it completely died off, I started buying again on like 120, somewhere there, I don't remember. And it's finally starting to bounce. But like, I want BTC to stall out, people get some confidence, and then have all these alts like mean revert up and actually touch the other side of these bands. That's the dream shot. We want to see that. Like, look, HNT did it. I call these like the yin yang train. You slam into this side, get the bears to tap out, and then you slam on the other side, and then the bears or the bulls tap out. That's what I want to see. Like this one. I don't know what convex. I've heard of convex, but the point is like this is one that's loaded, hasn't hit the other side yet, and it's not that you're guaranteed to get it. It's just like that's the Kobe 3-pointer if you can hit it. Because if you can get that damn thing, it's 42% on a spot trade. It's awesome. So that's why that's why I bring that up. We want to kind of go look for these slingshot setups because like all these are loaded. These things bled out hard. Like Whiff is starting to try to come back. Whiff went way down. But a lot of these found a floor. And some of them have popped, some of them haven't yet. So like Ondo, I've got it into profitable position so far. ICP hasn't pumped. But see, look, this is Sol. Sol has started the pump. The target's going to be trying to touch that thing, but it's got all these pivots in the way. So you very well may not get through these. So be careful there. You can martingale profits if you want. You can just sit here and take you can turn your, the fib tool. You can turn the fib tool into like a take profit layer tool, and you can go, all right, I'm gonna put 10% all the way there, whatever. You can totally do that. And that way you can kind of sleep through it, not worried about it. But anyway, keep an eye on these. You're late to a lot of the trades. You're late to the Bitcoin bounce. You definitely are. We're back into the mid-range. But there's some of these you're not late to. Like, you can execute these. Like, that's capitulation wick. That's a lower high or a higher low. And now we're kind of trying to walk out, and we're no longer touching that reversion band. So now we can see if there's legs here and see if volume comes in to slam it, right? We'll see. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting week. And a lot of people don't want to touch these things. These are like Metis. No one wants to touch Metis right now. Rightfully so. But anyway. If you guys don't know what these squares are, this is the update to the rev bands where you'll be able to add alerts to when you touch these bands. It's coming soon. Shoot pics at DM and tell them to get busy to check it. But anyway, we're going to cut it off there. It's 8:57. Well, you guys, thank you for coming out. Check us out, rainbowtrends.com, rainbow-trends.com. But we're going to go head over to the Discord and hang out there. If you guys don't know, the Discord link, it's right here at the top, the head banner here. I know it's hard to see in all the pink we've got everywhere, but like that's the official Discord link you guys can go check out. And there's no paywalls there, and we're going to go hit it up. So anyway, thanks again. I will talk to you guys later. It's good to see you, Sean. I hope you're doing well. Anyway. Adios. See you soon in the other stream.